Hey! Hi! How you doing, everyone? Guess what? It finally happened! I'm selling out! Yes, I have sold my soul to the corporations for some easy money. My thoughts and feelings are no longer my own. I am another cog in the corporate machine, a slave to our corporate overlords. All hail the money! I'm joking, of course. Or am I? Okay, so get this. For the first time ever, I got an exclusive deal on a video game. I got world exclusive content for a game. A video game developer sent me something, early access, that no one else has. How freaking awesome is that? So I'd like to thank the Academy, my friends and family. I wouldn't be here where I am today if it wasn't for all of you. Enough bullshit, let's get right to it. Video game developer Mercury Steam gave me early access to a brand new weapon for the character Schneider in the free-to-play video game SpaceLords. I have a video up on SpaceLords that you can go watch right now. Hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge. Mercury Steam, thank you once again for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. It's very kind and generous of you. But now it's time for me to give you the rundown of the brand new weapon coming to SpaceLords very soon for the character Schneider. Say hello to the KillerBall. For those of you who don't know, the character Schneider in SpaceLords, his whole gimmick and ability is that instead of shooting a gun, Schneider can deploy a turret on almost any vertical surface that he manually fires and aims at targets with the laser pointer he holds. And depending on which gun, which weapon, which targeting laser he brings, that you own and select, it changes the actual turret itself and the firing type. Basically, the targeting laser and the turret, they're connected, they're one and the same. So how does this new weapon, the KillerBall, change things up for Schneider? Well, the KillerBall shoots killer balls. To be more specific, energy ball projectiles that when make contact with a surface, create an AoE explosion, and then for a short period of time bounce around to other nearby surfaces and create more AoE explosions. Now before we get into some more nitty-gritty details, let's go over some of the stats. In terms of the individual aspects of the weapon that you can upgrade through weapon blueprints, we have automatic to increase the fire rate, lethal to increase the critical hit damage, effective to increase the critical hit probability, and finally affiliation to increase the number of faction points you earn at the end of a match. And the maximum ammo capacity for the weapon is 420. 420? Really, Mercury Steam? Really? Now I appreciate the good meme here and there, but this is a little bit on the nose, ain't it? I mean, if we're gonna go this far, why not go all the way and have Schneider's turret be made of Mountain Dew and Doritos? The maximum ammo count is 420, you bloody lunatics. Alright, so we've established that the KillerBall shoots killer balls that are bouncing projectiles that create AoE explosions. But the targeting laser itself also does a tiny bit of damage. Not as much as the primary fire projectiles from the turret, but with the little bit of DPS that the targeting laser can produce and the major DPS that your balls from your turret produce, it all stacks up and adds up against enemy AI and players to do a lot of damage. Make no mistake, the KillerBall is a high damage weapon, very quickly killing individual targets, but where the KillerBall shines is in the AoE damage. Whether it be wide open spaces or tight corridors, the explosions from your balls have just a wide enough range that this weapon is fantastic for taking care of groups of enemies or enemy spawn points. The KillerBall really is a mob killer. While I don't own all of Schneider's weapons, just comparing the KillerBall as a weapon by itself to the other weapons I've used in the game with the other characters, I can safely say the KillerBall is one of the more effective weapons for killing the AI mobs. However, when it comes specifically to the KillerBall and all of Schneider's weapons really, you can't just deploy your turret and then go to town. Positioning is key. If you want to get the most effective use out of the KillerBall, that means constantly deploying, recalling, and redeploying the turret to get it in the optimal position for your balls to do the most damage.
That's a lot of damage!
So this is not a weapon you can just deploy, turn your brain off, point and shoot, nah. You gotta be smart with with your balls, you gotta be strategic with your balls. Remember, your balls bounce as soon as they start hitting a surface, so you want to make sure your balls hit and explode just the right areas so that the explosions from your balls actually hit your target or multiple targets. But let me tell you, when your balls hit, they hit hard. I'm not gonna lie, the Killer Ball is a lot of fun, especially nuking enemy spawn points. Oh, what's that? A new squad of enemies is dropping in? Oh, here come my balls. Now you're all dead. Now your turret can be destroyed, putting your turret and balls on cooldown. You can't use your turret and balls for several seconds. But you're not completely useless and vulnerable without your turret and balls for that time. As like I mentioned earlier, the targeting laser itself also does a bit of damage and can do critical damage. So even though you can't shoot your turret and balls, you can still shoot with your nifty little laser pointer. Now overall, I've had a lot of fun with this weapon, and the Killer Ball is a solid overall weapon with a lot of DPS potential. I can only imagine the crazy amounts of damage. For the hardcore players who are level 100 plus, have a high level forge skill, and can max out that critical hit damage and critical hit probability stats. Oh yeah, the Killer Ball is an AI mob killer for sure, and I can only imagine the vast amounts of salt the Killer Ball will generate in PvP 4v1 raiders versus antagonist. Those bouncing projectiles and those AoE explosions, ooh, so much damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
But keep in mind, that's only for AI mob enemies and players. When it comes to bosses, this is the major downfall of the Killer Ball. Because you see, your balls just go right through them. I tested this with every boss battle in the game, with the only exception being Dr. Kuzmin in the mission In Shock. With every other boss battle in the game, your balls just go right through the bosses. Your targeting laser does damage, but your main primary source of damage, your balls from your turret, they just go right through the bosses. Now, I don't know if this is working as intended, if this is a bug and or glitch, or if just my early access version to the Killer Ball wasn't completely coded properly to have your balls explode on impact with the bosses. Now, Mercury Steam, why is it that only players and AI enemies get a taste of Schneider's balls? Why can't the bosses get a taste of Schneider's balls? I think every opponent you go up against in SpaceLords should have the right to get a taste of Schneider's balls. Hashtag balls for bosses. Hashtag free the balls. So the Killer Ball is a super effective weapon when it comes to AI mobs and players, not so much against bosses. At least in its current state in the early access version I have. And finally, let's take a quick look at the weapon's design itself. While the actual model of the Killer Ball is very similar in design to Schneider's previous weapons, what makes this gun stand out is the paint job. I really love the contrast of colors here. White, black, yellow, and a spot of red. Very nice, very cool looking gun. And that has been my exclusive first look at the brand new weapon coming to SpaceLords for Schneider, the Killer Ball. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and once again, one last time to Mercury Steam, thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege to be given this opportunity to get an exclusive look at a new weapon coming to a video game. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you guys, my subscribers, my audience. The fact that my channel has reached a point in growth, in numbers, that a video game developer actually reached out to me and let me have an exclusive first look at something, I have to thank you guys for putting me in this position. Thank you so much. Needless to say, I owe all of you big time. Anyways, that's been a video. Feel free to check out SpaceLords. The game is free to play. Available on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And I hope all you Schneider mains and SpaceLords look forward to and have fun with the new Killer Ball weapon coming soon. I'll see you guys later.